Let them all in, let the crews in. Oh,
And your red light's up there, so your recording is started.
we're recording. Okay, we're back in full session. And we're looking at the agenda. The agenda says we've got to approve the minutes from the January 17th meeting.
Okay, so I got some questions on the minutes.
Okay?
Okay. So, financial report, middle of the first page of the minutes, it finishes with, this M. Fitzgerald and D. Grove clarified the way the cash cover the loss, but then it says, and that was a balance sheet loss. Okay, I don't know what that is, so I don't think I said it. So I'd like to strike.
Where are you?
I'd like to strike from the last sentence, and that was a balance sheet loss.
Okay.
I wasn't at the last meeting either.
Oh, you weren't at the
No.
last meeting?
You got paid for it.
Did you get that, Mark?
Okay.
You take attendance at these meetings, Mark?
I read what I say here, that, in the next paragraph, Orville, middle of this paragraph, it says, M. Fitzgerald, him again, added that we should recognize that this fact is pertinent due to the negative comments expressed at the public hearing. I don't know what fact it's talking about.
I think there were concerns raised at the, I don't have the public hearing meeting minutes here, but I think there were comments at the public hearing that complained about.
The size of the thing?
Yeah. I don't remember exactly, but there were some negative comments at the public hearing.
Yeah, no, well, maybe we could change it to, I think probably was more that
We just say comments.
we recognize that were negative comments.
We reviewed them and.
Reviewed them
Right.
and felt that the project was
Merited.
what was given. Okay,
I mean,
merited the benefit given.
and the other thing we talked about is that the Oracle folks were at the public hearing and addressed them.
And then also, top of page 2, there's a talk about a depiction in the newspaper was inaccurate, but no description of what it was, so it says the depiction.
They had the wrong portion of the site listed as a development site.
Okay. So can we add that before a depiction in the newspaper, or just what it is, because if you read these minutes a year from now, you have no idea what the heck we're talking about. Depiction in the newspaper is inaccurate, no request for a correction of the picture requested, and then Gene questioned whether it would be appropriate to ask the meeting to correct it if we don't correct what. I'll just talk about it.
Yeah, I couldn't remember exactly what it was either when I read it.
It was placed on the lot.
So the map, there was a map and it
map,
wasn't
right.
located appropriately?
What was in the papers wasn't accurate as far as where the placement of the building was going to be. That's what.
Well, maybe we should expand the definition of
Depiction.
that depiction,
Yeah,
which where we
describe it.
define it.
We
Right.
describe what the
What you
meaning is.
just said.
Right.
Then one more, old business, last page, top of the page, ABO sales tax audit in 2018 lease fences have been reviewed and are allocated among the companies that were subject of the audit. It would suggest that we stress that. Stress what to who?
What do we do, Mark?
I don't know.
Just like you did the-
I know what it was. It was suggested that we stress that we got
ABO
through the
did not-
review fine,
we got
and
through the-
nobody
yes.
had to pay any extra taxes or.
So we stress to the companies that are in charge of the legal expense, the fact that they didn't have to pay any
Right.
additional
Correct,
sales
and
tax.
that we handled the
The
ABO
the
directly.
negotiation with the ABO?
Mhm. Yes,
They sent out those bills?
yes,
Anybody kick back?
no. I haven't seen payment. I
I
thought-
don't think anybody's gonna see that.
I've seen a payment.
So they round filed it.
Remember it as well, okay?
Yeah.
It hasn't been paid.
As long as you paid first, I'm good.
Any other changes? Mark, got all those?
Got 'em.
Any other comments on the minutes?
No.
Okay, we have a motion to approve them as corrected. I'll move it. Move from Steve, is there a second? Second.
Oh.
Second, Mike. Mike
No,
seconded,
Kirk.
beat
Kirk
you.
second. Kirk second.
Oh, Kirk seconded, okay. If there's no further discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, moving on to the financial statement.
So you have the January financials in front of you. Just a couple notes, the balance in accounts receivable, that was basically, due from the LDC, from the, I think it was either the December or January meeting where we, decided the LDC was gonna cover a few of the costs. That included 16,000 from the video conferencing system and 55,000 from the LDC covering the additional staff services. That was on your balance sheet as of January 31st, but I think those checks have been cut. So you'll see that come off the balance sheet for the February financials. For the deferred revenue, we did receive one additional commitment fee that was from Angler Electric. And I decided to start putting the month that it was received in, so that we can kind of track, how long these projects have been, from the time they were started until they may close, so we can kind of track that a little bit better, just in the notes. And for the income statement, it does show that we filled out those legal services that were incurred related to the sales tax audit. So those were all booked in January. And the legal bill currently, it's being split between the LDC and the IDA evenly. I think there might have been some discussion that it might have been allocated a little differently, so I
The
don't know.
new
if anyone-
$200 should have been $50 IDA, 150
Okay.
LDC.
So it'd be 800, okay. So it'll be 800. So I'm just gonna reach out to Levitt and Gordon and have them adjust that accordingly. Okay.
You're not cutting back.
One other item for discussion. In the original budget, in the original 2020 budget, we budgeted for the video conferencing system costs to be in 2020, but they've all been incurred. So I don't know if,
There's an ongoing
I don't know if
cost.
we should, well, if we budgeted 20,000 in the IDA and the LDC in 2020 for the video conferencing system, but it was all incurred and paid in 2019. So I wasn't sure if we wanted to do a budget amendment or just have a budget to actual variance due to the timing.
Just
Leave
let
it the way
let
it
be a
is.
variance, yeah. Are you expensing it
Prepaid it?
all though, or capitalizing?
I capitalized it.
Yeah, so it's not gonna hit the budget all at one time anyways, it's gonna be a depreciation factor down the road.
Right,
So,
okay.
did you get the audit fee locked up?
So he's coming tomorrow. I don't have the engagement letter, but I did speak with him and he assured me that there would be no engagement fee increase.
Okay.
So, last year it was in 2018, the fee was 5,000
Two.
for the IDA and it was 1850 for the LDC. I had budgeted 4,800. It had increased $200.
Yeah, the animation.
So I'll be sure that he brings the engagement letter tomorrow and that the fee would be the 5,000 for the IDA and the 1,850 for the LDC.
Any other questions on the financials? Gene, any questions?
No.
We'll receive them as presented.
What's for Ron Howard?
Okay. Number 4 on the agenda. Are we ready? Consider an inducement resolution relating to the Venancio Construction, Inc. Project Polaris Facility, granting preliminary approval for financial assistance in the form of sales tax exemptions valued at $225,400, but not to exceed $247,940. Exemptions from mortgage recording taxes valued at $52,533, but not to exceed $57,786. and reduction of real property taxes for a period of 15 years, value estimated at $1,277,943, which financial assistance is a deviation from the agency's uniform tax exemption policy, authorizing the agency to conduct a public hearing. So, we can have a motion to approve this and have discussion, or we can discuss an amended motion if there is some interest in doing that.
So I
Go ahead.
speak to it if it's all right. Okay, so, I think it's great that the staff has been working with these local companies that are growing to find them homes for a bigger number of employees, which is also a great benefit to the area. So I commend the staff for that. But as to the request, these are companies that are already here and expanding, which is great that they are expanding. There is currently no tax being generated on the property that they're proposed to occupy. And it seems to me that we need to be consistent with the benefits that we've provided to other companies, both local expansions, not in the area, people that have come in. This appears to be related to the lab, and it's great that we have the lab, and we have to do everything we can to keep it here, but we can't give away all of the benefit of having the lab. So I would propose that instead of a 15-year customized pilot, that I would move to provide this project with a mortgage tax exemption, a sales tax exemption, and then a pilot based on the proposed fixed assessment of $2.3 million. Let me just check that number, make sure I'm right. Yeah, $2.3 million on what is often our standard formula, which is a 2/3 abatement of the tax or reduction in the tax for the first 5 years and 1/3 for the second 5 years, our more standard 10-year office pilot. And not only to make it fair to those that are in the past, but to communicate kind of what we're looking for as a potential benefit for companies coming in the future. And also noting that staff provided us information that there were 5 different developers who are active construction / developers in the greater Mohawk Valley that were given a chance to look at this, and that the potential tenants had a lot of input as to which builder or developer was selected. So, yeah.
The lease is 10 years, so it runs.
Yeah, right. And the other thing is that the proposed lease, we're being told, is 10 years, and that it would run concurrent with that. And of course, the motion 2 would be tied in to the jobs that are projected, which I do have a question on, which I'll stop making the motion and say, I have a question after, so moved.
So Mike moves that, you got that?
Got it.
So my question on the jobs.
Well, we got a second
Oh, sorry.
first. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Which one of you would like to
Gene
say?
can have it.
Okay, Gene, you're second. Okay.
All right.
We'll have some discussion.
The question is, it appears on, I don't know what page number it is, but where the jobs are protected, it says, it's part 7 of the application, that before the project, that tenant number 1 has 60 jobs, and tenant number 2 has 30 jobs, which would be 90, and then it says after, it's going to be 112, and then on the next page, it says it's going to be 106. So I don't know what really the projection is. Do you see what you said to me? It's 53 and 53, which would be 106, and then it's 72 and 40 be 112, and it's 60. So I'm not sure of the actual job.
We will get that.
You know what they are?
The first page of the.
And the first page is 112.
112.
So,
1893-22.
so that,
112?
okay, so I would make that,
We would just need to clarify
What?
page 18.
you know, part of the motion, that it's based on, 112 jobs. So,
With a significant salary.
wage scale.
Okay, any other discussion on this? I know that the property is no longer subject to any tax now. We're talking about creating a greater critical mass of people that work at the base, that have access to facilities on the base for working environment. And then we're recognizing they're going to have modern office space in which to work, particularly in their relationship to Rome Lab, which we understand is one of their prime customers for people that would occupy this building. So I think that the fact that it's going to incur taxes will be paid to the taxing jurisdictions. And I think we have the support of the mayor of Rome here for this project. And there's been no indicated, anybody that's indicated that would be against it, at least from the agency standpoint. So I think it's a good move and a good change that's consistent with our prior policy. So are we ready to vote? We are. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Carried. Okay, number 5 on the agenda is to consider a final authorizing resolution relating to the Barflex Corporation facility, authorizing financial assistance in the form of exemptions from sales and use taxes estimated at $54,600, but not to exceed $60,060, and reduction in real property taxes on the increased assessment relating to the addition estimated at $225,200, which financial assistance is consistent with the IDA's uniform tax exemption policy, and approving the form and execution of related documents, all subject to council review. The agency conducted a public hearing on February 11th, 2020. We received a copy of the minutes of that public hearing, and I believe it was distributed to all agency members.
The recording was also posted online as well, and I sent that one.
It's all posted online also? And the minutes that I have indicate that there were no comments and that the corporation was present.
I'll move the resolution.
Moved by Steve, is there a second?
Second.
I'll second it.
Kirk beat you.
All right, good. That's good, Kurt.
If there's no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Carried. Okay, new business. Any new business to come before the agency?
No.
No. Any old business?
Just that the public meeting was held on the CRE project. The attendance was over 100, you counted 125. There was no issue raised associated with the benefits, but community spoke very positively. Construction will be quite aggressive. They plan to turn the key in the facility on April 12th, 2021,
Just install tools.
to install tools. But you'll need an enclosed facility and ready to go.
And are they working on the project on the site now, or is it waiting until the winter's over?
No. I've got 70 trucks a day going in and out, bringing 70 trucks a run, right, bringing in the fill material. We've done most of the bulk excavation. So, got a $4.6 million contract that made it a pad.
Okay, good. And I saw in the paper that the FD was working with MDCC on a training program for possible employees. Do you have anything to comment on that, Steve?
It's not just MVCC, they're very interested in all the training assets that exist within the region and taking advantage of on-site training, off-site training, internships, apprenticeship programs. There's a National Science Foundation grant and a semi-grant that was awarded, which is funding through SUNY Poly and the Community College Network, a lot of training for soldiers cycling out at Fort Drum, trying to capture some of that workforce too. There's 200 soldiers a month cycling out of Fort Drum. So, soldiers basically have can follow instructions, have good leadership skills, and have a lot of the prerequisite skills that would fit this industry pretty well. So, I'm trying to capture some of that. They and others are trying to capture some of that market.
Good. Anything else to come before the meeting? If not, motion to adjourn is entertained. Is there a motion? Moved from Mike, second from Steve, all in favor?
Hi.
Adjourned. Enjoy the day, Jamie.
We'll certainly do that.